Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Friday, whenever you're listening to this. Happy day, happy moment. Having a moment. All right. Lots of good discussion inside Slack, lots of good discussion inside Marco Polo. Love the sharing. Love the wisdom. Beautiful discussion in just our live inquiry calls. I love that there's a smorgasbord of here to choose from, and nothing's required. What a concept, right? You get to pick what works for you. Saw some wonderful faces last night. We're still in the midst of the first couple weeks only here, right? In this immersion, really taking a close look at this beautiful, stressful, beautiful, horrible process. And so still some new people showing up. Wonderful to see people's faces. All right, and just a quick review, because I've had a few emails from people who are still getting on board, and maybe you were in Eating Peace process in the past, Eating Peace experience now. It always seems to change. It's a new group. It's wonderful. Love who's showing up, even if you're not doing the work on thoughts about food. Compulsion. What I like noticing, and it's not bad news, is that the mind is very compulsive. So there are other thoughts about I like this, I don't like that. I like this, I don't like that. I want that, I don't want that. Like it's just saying yes and no constantly to everything. And so we're really looking at that impulse to be protective or notice or watch. And then when something becomes stressful quite quickly. So we're really just looking at that. Some of you might have heard before, and I really found this very powerful, that it appears to be that whatever we're calling addiction here, compulsion, movement, watching ourselves do something we don't really want to do, the mind is just simply like that, whether it's eating or not. It has its preferences and its outcomes that it wants, and it's not wrong to even have preferences or desire. Desire seems to exist in nature. It's just there like a beautiful desire, but it's just how we're working with it. So anyway, just powerful, helpful to notice, I think. You can be here, whatever's going on. So I love that people are taking the journey. They're just making contact. Okay, so a couple little logistical things, little housekeeping. Slack is a place where all the recordings are saved, including this. You might be watching this on Slack right now and you're not even on Facebook. A bunch of you aren't on Facebook. It's fine. So this will be, I just download it and save it and upload it right into anything that's live. And hi, Abby, I see you're here. So just this logistical overview. Marco Polo is just an app on your phone. I know yet another app, but amazing sharing. And some of you are finding some of the little details, like you don't actually have to watch every single video, or you can fast forward by just pushing your finger and then pulling it across the screen and you're at the end, or make it go double fast or whatever, and then come back to it later. But the connection and the sharing is really beautiful, and especially if you notice you're just watching that thought and that mind gets so busy. And you can do the work right in front of us in writing on Slack if you like, in the one belief at a time, or share a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet, and people will share and comment. So I thought I would talk to a couple of things that I've got. One is Teresa most recently, and some of you sharing just that feeling of anxiety and lack of safety. So something small happens, maybe another small thing happens. I would notice awareness of building, anxiety building. Many of us, when I look back and I see the process of my eating experience, anxiety was there before eating ever occurred to me. But I know I did have anxiety even younger. Just remembering the moments where reality seemed unsafe or despairing or difficult or alarming to a child. And these can be interesting things to notice, just that awareness of what we're calling anxiety here. There's something to worry about. I need to be afraid of this, or I just simply am. And then watching sometimes that motion of the mind saying, and I can't stop being afraid of it. I need to keep being afraid. I need to worry about this. Because just watching, I wonder why I need to be worried about that, because I seem to, something in the mind is chewing on it, which I love we say those words, literally chewing. It's chewing on it. Hard to drop the thought and to let ourselves just see why, wonder why. Let us have an answer. I mean, instead of forcing ourselves, I shouldn't be anxious. There's something wrong with me. I shouldn't be anxious. Wow, I wonder what's going on. It's like the sweetest way of listening to ourselves, to be with that anxiety. And noticing, often eating is a response to that. Urges, anxieties. And yes, we do not have to have it all sorted out and figured out. We don't have to have all our anxieties relaxed to stop eating out of them. Not necessarily. In fact, I notice anxiety still arises. And just like some of the people working with this compulsion, you might not be eating compulsively anymore, and just still noticing the chatter that turns on. It says, I need it to go a certain way. I need it to not go this other way. I need it to be the way so I'm safe. I need it to go that way so that I'm safe. I need this to be different in the moment so that I just feel safe, so I'm secure, so I'm okay. So weird in some ways in the big grand scheme of things that we are safe and we are not safe at the same time. There will come an end to this life. If we're calling like lack of safety is dying, often the mind's perspective I see in my own mind by watching that mind is lack of safety equals I'm going to die. So anything that threatens this body and this life, I'm going to die. And that can be emotional threats. Somebody doesn't like me. I'm being rejected. I'm being abandoned. It kind of boils down to, in this very simplistic way, I experience something uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, by being rejected, by being abandoned, by being left behind, by not being part of the tribe, somehow there's something safe about that, by being isolated. Not safe. It's not safe. So some were mentioning this lack of safety. I love Julia speaking about teeth, and Teresa talking about teeth, and Abby talking about teeth and going to the dentist. Just noticing. So Donnie's here, Carrie's here. All right, so just watching disturbance. And that, in a way, quite simple thought, but just looking at your proof of why you're not safe, and even in a specific situation, I'm not safe here in this moment because, a tree fell down during a storm. I have to go to the dentist. It's going to hurt. Somebody doesn't like me. Being very compassionate with the sense of that lack of safety, instead of I'm wrong and I shouldn't think that it happens so quickly. And this thought, I need to be thinner, so strong, so embedded. My body needs to be different. I need to show up and appear thin or just right in order for me to be safe in the environment, non-rejectable, worthy. approved of, appealing to others, appealing to myself. Body needs to be that certain way in order to be doing it right. Just watching the mind move into the right or wrong experience. Need to do it right. So I was noticing just yesterday somebody that I worked with believing that they reacted the wrong way. So just watching, first there was something that they were afraid of in their inquiry, in their primary relationship. So this person was doing the work on his wife and watching that conversation and not liking some things over there, and then also not liking the way he reacted, and just holding that and being in that place. Everything's unsafe. I'm not safe. And I don't even like myself in the way I reacted. I should have done it differently. Whew. Anyway, should and shouldn't. Very stressful, actually. Quite unsafe to have those thoughts in the mind. But so when it comes to food and eating, I'm not safe in the presence of food. I'm not safe when I have this body. I'm not safe in that moment where the food is in my presence and I have a craving and I want to eat it. Putting on the brakes. So if we just simply, who would I be without the thought right there? Noticing, who would I be without the thought, I have to be different than I am? I didn't react perfectly. Very interesting, maybe strange. Who would I be without the thought, it needs to go differently? My body needs to remain thin, get thinner, accomplish something in the future, even if the future is tomorrow or in 1 hour, even if it's not the future, I needed to have done it better yesterday, last night. Very stressful, right? It's very stressful because you can never undo that thing that happened before and the future's not even here. So just right now in the moment, who would I be without the thought that there is something to worry about, that I am unsafe? Just left to my own devices, I'm unsafe. When it comes to food and eating, I'm unsafe. Who would I be without that thought? Or my impulses or my emotions. If I just let them happen, that's not safe. Who would you be without the thought? And turning that around, I am safe. I am safe in this situation. I am safe left to my own devices. I am safe here, being here. Could that be possible? Could it be true? The way it is okay. I love in this moment, I just remembered Katie speaking once to being mediocre and how fantastic that is. Just being mediocre. But that kind of like lowers the bar, even eliminates the bar of all this drive we have to do it just right and have the body just right and all of it, just in an effort to be noticing this kind of out of controlness that is worrisome to the mind of being alive here on planet Earth. We don't know what's going to happen. We just don't ever know what's going to happen. There's some predictability, but we really don't know. Could that be okay? I notice it's the way of it. And with food and eating, how interesting. Contact, merging with reality, eating, becomes one with the body, getting energy. And then there's a space, there's a gap where there is not eating happening. Even if you've thought of yourself that you just eat all the time, you notice that it's not true. Even when I look at my binge eating experience, was I eating constantly? No. I went to sleep. I went to work. There was many, many minutes of not eating. Tons of minutes, but I overlooked any of them because I just thought I'm constantly eating. So that's just helpful to notice. It stops. Something stops. Fullness, limits, just something does come to an end, and the mind just continues running. The mind keeps going, but even the mind can stop if you relax and go to sleep, and it forgets about what's happening. So just helpful to see. Who would you be without the thought, I'm not safe? Left to my own devices, I am safe. I am safe in this moment. Fantastic to find some concrete evidence, even though we have no idea what's going on here in this world, you know. There is some predictability. It's probably going to come up tomorrow. It's happened many times. And it won't always. Very interesting. So how is it true that I am safe? Just seeing the feeling sense of wherever you are right now, your body is meeting reality by sitting with gravity, like mine is on the chair. I feel on my legs. I feel my hands touching the sides of my chair, palms of my hands, and just it's meeting reality by breathing. I'm just becoming one with reality by taking in that breath. And spontaneous talking is happening here. Just being with the mind. That's safe. It's safe. Safety. It's very quiet. Not much speed going on in the moment, in the physical reality. And how is it safe that you have the body you have in this moment? Like, especially, this is probably more without the thought, but without the belief, I've done it wrong right up to now. I've always done it wrong, you know, that we'll have like in the mind about food and eating and all those other things that we've done. But just without that belief and just noticing the safety of this moment, here we are, conscious, listening, interested, experiencing, taking in this moment, despite all the things that we've done in the past, up to 20 minutes ago maybe. Despite all the thoughts in the mind, here we are. Amazing, actually. So something is safe. It can be kind of exciting. And it's even safe to have this food and eating running and having this body that's temporary, safe for as long as it is, and just noticing in this present moment, it's okay. It's okay. We can even hold, there will be a future moment when the body won't be here anymore. And all those moments when food isn't present and we're in the midst of other things happening, or the end of eating happens. That's an interesting moment. The end of a meal and we feel unsafe about stopping. Like it just feels so good right there, but is it safe to stop? And is hunger, can we be safe with hunger? In a way, you can look at this work and just go like, look, all these things that I feel unsafe about, and just go ahead and make a giant list. Just let yourself write, and then just pause and see, can I be safe even in the presence of this thing, this energy, this experience? I used to feel very anxious in the presence of hunger. Didn't want it to ever be there. And then realize, wow, maybe I'm safe even if hunger happens. And fullness. Condemning if I was full, just terribly, terribly unsafe about fullness. Yeah, maybe I'm okay if I'm full. Okay, so hope that helps a little bit with safety. What is the thing that's unsafe? My thinking, my anticipation, my nervousness, my nervous tension. It comes out of my thoughts, and it doesn't mean kill the thoughts, destroy the thoughts. Get rid of the thoughts, because what do I notice in reality? There they are. They're running. They're here for a good reason, but I don't have to believe them. I love how Katie says you have two choices: believe them or question them. There isn't door number 3, don't have the thoughts at all. And what a gift, because sometimes we don't have the thoughts at all. They aren't always there. Okay, yeah, just my thoughts about my body and thinness and fatness and hunger and fullness and eating and stopping eating and foods and all that, everything about it. Those are unsafe. They cause lack of safety. So if I can just relax and question any of them. Okay. So the other thing I might have just shared, somebody was asking to speak to being in touch with your body. And I think, Abby, you mentioned this too, like just being in touch with eating with your body, not eating with your mind, when you're actually engaged with eating and everything in between. Engage with eating, engage with not eating. If we're letting go of right or wrong about any of it, you know, that sometimes thoughts of lack of safety. If I let go of right or wrong and I'm in the middle of a meal and I'm eating and here's the thoughts running, is it okay if those thoughts are there? Let's let them be there, but just wonder, okay to have them, nothing wrong with having them, and just feeling the body. Is it safe to feel the body in the moment? Like feel as I chew and slowly take in a meal and swallow and let it notice the joining of me with this thing in the world that can be eaten. So amazing and so bizarre and so strange. Eating is so strange. We're like taking in something and actually bringing it right into us, into the body at least. So just allowing that to be safe, just watching, holding it compassionately. This thing called eating, joining, and feeling it. Just taking a deep breath and feeling it while you're eating and noticing. And just watching enoughness come, enoughness appear. I've had enough. I can always get more food to eat. There's no rules here. There's no regulations. If I'm hungry again later, I will eat again. Care for the self. So at least like in a little baby, there's not lack of safety with what I'm doing with food and eating. And it's okay to be in a space of time without food. Safe. I used to starve myself and I never knew how terrified I was of hunger. And it's because I was kind of bringing that to myself a lot. So just feeling in the body, if you feel like you've lost touch with hunger and fullness, is just to relax and feel the subtleties of what hunger and fullness feel like, and that you're safe in any condition. And if you slow down, I just find being very slow about it and relaxed, noticing the extreme that used to go to, you know, like, oh, hungry, oh my God, eat, eat, eat. Oh, full, oh my God, I did it wrong. And just bringing down the wave is much more in the middle, and it's more comfortable to work with, Maybe you eat more often, maybe you don't, just see what is right for this body, testing things out, just relaxing the presence of food and taking it in. And it does seem the way of it that's what we are meant to do. Taking in the world, having a chance to become one with it instead of separate from it. So don't want to take that away. So many people say when they have food and eating issues, I just wish I could take a pill and never eat ever, 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 because it feels like such a difficult, unsafe, troubling situation, and doesn't seem to be the way of it. So learning about really taking something entirely in and not being against it, not resisting. So hopefully that helps. Great questions, and thanks for being here, everybody. Lots of love. Enjoy your Friday. See you soon. Sunday's the next thing. Bye.